Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Albuquerque Aliens Draft to Glory franchise mode here in NHL 25. So last episode, if you did not catch it, we took on the Minnesota Wild in the first round of the playoffs, and we actually had quite an easy time against them as we won via sweep. As you can see, our first game was an overtime winner. Then we managed to respond also with a 4-2 victory, so kind of building up that offense a little bit. Then went to a 5-1 win, so it's progressively getting better at that stage. As you can see, we're getting more goals. We're also playing better defensively. And then Game 4 was probably our worst defensive effort, but we still won 7-3 in that game. So a very good series for us. But now we're going to be running into a tougher Winnipeg Jets team that went to 6 games in the first round and has some pretty damn good players on it by comparison to the Minnesota Wild. They actually have a little bit more depth to them. Not as crazy as some teams we've ever played in the playoffs before, but it is still going to be, I think, a little bit of a tougher matchup just because the Jets have some really solid players on this top line. We did play them last year in the playoffs, so we kind of know what they're all about. This top line is very, very good. They also have a little bit better center depth, as you can see, with like an 86 on the second line and all that. So very solid for a group. But the one guy we need to contain the most is probably Yves Bissonnette on this defensive core of all things. He is a 93 overall, and he's been an insane offensive defenseman the last few years. 95 points this season, and he's won multiple Norris trophies. He's only been in the playoffs 2 times in his career at the age of 28, which is kind of insane, but he is point per game in the playoffs through his first 2 years in the playoffs. And then, like I said, we got to contain pretty much this top line, and I guess pretty much their power play unit, because their power play unit is very, very strong. At least it looks like it should be pretty strong. So hopefully we can find a way to contain that, and hopefully we can find ways to score goals on Marshall Cavallo, because we did go up against Cavallo last year in the playoffs, and he was pretty damn solid. He's not necessarily the best regular season goaltender, but he is a pretty solid playoff goaltender, especially this season where he's posting a .934 through 6 games at the moment. So I think it's going to be a good goaltending matchup as Cavallo and Gionta both face each other, I guess, again, technically, because Gionta would have played against them last year. Gionta's rocking in .932 through 4 games, so it should be pretty even in terms of goaltending. But honestly, who have no idea how this game is going to simulate and how the series will end up. Like, is this the type of series that we get swept in, or is it one of those ones that go to 7 games? I don't even really know. But anyways, before we get into the second round matchup against this Winnipeg Jets team, let's get in your guys' comments, see what you guys have to say about last episode, and then we'll see if this team can make it to the conference finals, just like my New York Islanders team could. So the first comment is from Michael Dose, who says, whatever Delisle ate for pregame, make sure you feed him that going forward. And yeah, maybe we do need to feed Delisle whatever we were feeding him before that, because Delisle in that second line in that first round were really, really good. And it was kind of surprising because we thought that it was going to be the same type of thing with like Ristolainen, with Staubitz, with Kolarz, those guys doing most of the work. Now they did do a lot of work, 6 points for Staubitz and Kolarz each, and Risto had 7. However, the second line of Delisle, Cashman, and Dunham was really good. As you can see, Dunham had 9 points in 4 games. We had Cashman on 7 assists in 4 games, and then Delisle had 5 goals and an assist for 6 points in 4 games. So we got 1 really good goal scorer, 1 really good passer, and then kind of a hybrid production players. So our top 6 in general has been kind of carrying us offensively, so I'm kind of hoping some of the other lines can contribute a bit in this second round. And then, like I said, hopefully we get some more consistent goaltending from Gionta, who was really good in that first round matchup. And the last and final comment is from Sound Otaku, says, it's nice to see the top line isn't carrying the entire squad as it has been in years past. Depending on how things go, you might want to have one of the guys with better face-off stats take over as fourth line center. Otherwise, onward and upward. And yeah, I agree. I think that if we are going to make any adjustments, it would be probably taking Stillman off the face-offs, because obviously Stillman does not do really well at that. He is doing actually better in the playoffs so far than he was in the regular season, because his face-off stats in the regular season were like 39%, but he's at 41.2% so far in the postseason. But we could always change him over to the wing, and I could put somebody like Kopitz down the middle instead, and that way we have somebody that actually has a 76 on face-offs rather than a 64. So that might be something we look into doing in this second round if we run into any troubles. For right now, we might as well just keep it the same, because there's not been any issues, but if there is any issues with that fourth line, we could obviously address it with that. So Anyways, I think we're ready to get into the second round matchup to see if we could continue what's been a really good season up to this point. We obviously had a really good regular season. The first round was a nice sweep. I kind of feel like we could get swept in the second round just because we've been on a good little stretch as of late, but we did also end off the regular season on a bad note, so I'm still thinking that might mean that we're going to be a really good team this postseason. Now, during the regular season, I did look also in last episode, we did not win any games versus the Jets, I'm pretty sure, so it could be a little bit of a tough matchup for us going up against this Jets team, but if we could contain those top guys, I definitely think we have a chance. So let's get into game number one. We have home ice advantage, of course. Let's see if we can continue this good run route we're on. We're on a 4-game winning streak, so let's see if we can make it 5 in a row. First period, game number one. And 2-0 Jets. Not a great start to our winning streak as Danielson scores with 5 minutes left, and then literally 5 minutes later around, Lightning makes it 2-0. So that's a bit of a tough period for Gionta, who's been very good up to this point. So I don't really know if that's just an outlier of the period or all of a sudden we're just not playing good defensively. Like maybe we had too much time off in between rounds or something like that, because obviously the Jets went to 6 games, so maybe they're a little bit more ready than we are. But shots are 14-10 in favor of us, so we are outplaying them, but we are being outscored 2-0. So can we find a way to get back into this game? Even 1 goal in the second period would be nice. Second period? Okay, 4-1, that's not great. They did make it 4-0 at one point, so that's even worse. Packarainen and Wheeler score. Stelbit scores a power play goal, and we're down by 3 goals going into the third. So this is probably going to be our first loss of the playoffs based on that, but unless we have a good third period comeback. But shots are 26-23 in favor of the Jets, so they outshot us in that period. We're down by 3 goals. Our only goal coming from the captain. Let's see if we could maybe claw back into this in the third period or not. Maybe give us some sort of momentum for next game at least. There's a goal from Ristolainen, so 2 goals from 2 old guys. Okay, can we get another one is the question. And another one after that. Power play for us. We do not score on that one. If we would have scored on that power play, we definitely would have had a chance, but time is running out. Final 5 minutes, still down by a pair of goals. And that is probably going to do it. Yes, it is. Packarainen gets an empty netter. And unfortunately, we're going to lose our first game of the playoffs, losing 5-2 with the final shots 42-31 in favor of the Jets. So not a strong game. I mean, it was an okay game, I guess, in terms of goaltending. But in terms of like actually generating offense and stuff like that, it seems like we didn't really do enough. So Stelbitz from Ristolainen and Kolars, and Ristolainen from Kolars. So now the top line is doing the work, basically, while the second line, I guess, decided to take the night off. But, yeah, Ristolainen was solid in that game. He gets third star, Cavallo the second star, and Packarainen the first star. But, yeah, Cavallo, we need to find ways to score goals on that guy because, like I said, he was really good through the first round, apparently. And so far, he's off to a good start here in round 2 as well. Maybe I already make adjustments after a loss like that. Like, I know it's 1 loss, but 5-2 is kind of a convincing loss. So let's go ahead and make some adjustments already. Nothing too crazy, but we are probably going to do the center change at least. That way we can maybe win some more faceoffs down there on the fourth line. I actually think I'll put Robertson down the middle, even though he's not a center. It's just more because he actually has good faceoff stats. Aside from that, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I could change up here. I don't want to swap the top lines and stuff like that around too much. From a defensive standpoint, I think I'll probably keep that the same, and then goaltending I'll obviously keep it the same. So I think the only adjustment is just moving Robertson to center. I could always move around stuff on that top 6, but I don't think it's worth doing yet. I mean, technically Ristolainen is just as good as Cashman at this stage, so we could always swap the 2 of them, but chemistry does get a little bit worse if we do that, so I don't think there's any other adjustments I'm going to make, at least yet. There is guys that we could always call up from the minors at some point if we get into really major trouble, still like McLeod and all that. So, but I think I'll probably wait till next season to bring up McLeod to the NHL. But I'm really worried that we end up losing this playoff run. We're going to end up losing some of our big guys to retirement this offseason, even though I did give them an extension 2 episodes ago, or was it last episode? I honestly don't even remember. But anyways, let's get to game 2. See if those center adjustments are going to help us at all. Like I said, hopefully that makes us play a little bit better defensively because we're at least winning a little bit more defensive zone faceoffs and all that type of thing. So let's get to game number 2 and see if we can win this one on home ice to at least split our home ice games, because obviously if we lose both of our home games, heading on to the road would be a bad thing because there's a good chance that we'd lose at least one of those games on the road. So let's see if we could get a good response here in game 2. Play better defensively, and get some goal scoring like we did in the first round. First period, game number 2. 1-1. Okay, that's a better first period for sure than last game. Sutton made it 1-0 for them, so they opened the scoring for the second consecutive game. But Dunham ties it up less than a minute later, so that's good to see that second line getting back on the board again, because obviously last game they did not do anything. Shots are 10-9 in favor of the Jets. It's a 1-1 game. Can we find a way to get our first lead of the series, because we've not had the lead yet at this point in time. Second period. 2-2. Okay, this game might go to overtime based on how it's trajectorying to be. Wheeler made it 2-1 for the Jets, and Dunham scores again. So Dunham has been fantastic this postseason. He's now up to like 11 points in his playoff run through 6 games. Obviously, last game he didn't have any points, but so far here in game 2, he's doing a lot better. Shots are 26-17 in favor of us, so we're outplaying them, but Cavallo's been keeping his team in this game. We have not had the lead still in this game. Can we find it in this third period? Let's see what happens. See if Dunham can maybe get a hat trick in this game, because he's been good so far. And Cashman scores, so that second line's doing a lot of work here in this game too, which is really nice to see considering the top line's not doing much. Kopitz scores a power play goal, so good to see Kopitz. I think that might be his first career playoff goal, unless he had one last round, which I do not remember. But this is a good response from our team after a bad first game. And they pull within one late, Cantor, but Cashman gets the empty netter, so our second line carries us to victory in that one. That late goal kind of scared me that they were going to tie it up late, but we do win 5-3 after we lost 5-2 in game 1. We outshot them 45-26, so that's definitely a much more dominant effort than last game. So Dunham from Norena and Delisle. We had Dunham from Cashman, Cashman from Delisle and Dunham, Kopitz from Stubbins and Kolars. And then we had Cashman from Norena and Doig. So a very good game again for that second line, doing most of the legwork. Dunham, Cashman both had 3 points. Norena and Delisle had 2 points and a couple guys on 1 point. And then from a goaltending perspective, Gianta's still been a little bit bad to start the second round, but at least he's 1-1. It's not like he's 0-2. If he was 0-2, maybe we'd give Malkin a chance, but Gianta's having a bit of a tough time here in round 2, which is kind of to be expected because obviously the Jets are a lot better than the Wild were. But Cashman gets first start, Dunham the second start, and Delisle the third start. So yeah, the second line literally did everything for us in that one, which is nice to see. Like Saturn Taku was saying, and I've been saying, basically having that second line doing a lot of work is good to see, because obviously in years past that top line was doing almost all the work in the playoffs, but to see other lines contribute is always a good thing to see. So now that we have a tie series, hopefully we can find a way to at least win one of these games in Winnipeg just to get a response from that first game loss, because obviously if we lose both these games in Winnipeg, we're going to still have a really rough time. But if we can find a way to win at least one of these 2 games, we'll still at least be deadlocked. So can we find a good defensive game in game 3 and a good goaltending game? Because that's the only thing that it's been a little bit worrisome so far, is how bad we've been playing in net right now to start this round by comparison to last round. So if Johnson could find himself from like the first round, definitely we have a good chance of winning the series. But obviously if he plays bad like he's been doing so far, it's definitely, I feel like it could favor the Jets a bit more to series, but I'm not too sure on that. So let's get to game 3 and see if we could win 2 games in a row. Maybe that first loss that we had was going to be our only loss this round. You never know. But here we go. First period, game number 3 on the road in Winnipeg. Can we open the scoring here and get the lead after the first period for the first time in the series? First period, 2-0 us. Okay, good to see. So basically, it's like what happened with them in the first game. They were up 2-0 after the first period, but we do have the lead after the first period for the first time, which is great. Stelwitz opens the scoring. A couple minutes later, Delisle scores again. So I guess we're still feeding Delisle whatever he was eating, which I don't honestly know what Delisle would want to eat. Maybe some poutine, considering he sounds like he's from Quebec or something like that. Shots are 16-8 in favor of us as well, so we're doubling them in shots and in more than doubled in goals, I guess you could say, but pretty good start. Does Delisle goals from a pretty weird angle, and then Stelwitz's goals from right off the face-off area. So pretty good spots to score some goals from. Let's see if we can keep this lead intact in the second period or not. Second period, 2-1. So they do pull within 1. That's not great as Wheeler scores. We're out shooting him 31-17. So the last 2 games, we've definitely badly outshot them, but we've barely escaped with some of these victories. So the question is now, can we hold them off for 20 more minutes, or are they going to find 2 unanswered goals and get this game to an overtime? Hopefully, we can get some insurance markers. Let's see what happens. Period 3 underway. Come on, boys. Give me an insurance marker. Come on, Delisle. I know you ate a lot of poutine or something like that before the game, so maybe that could help us. Lighten and ties it up for the Jets, and they get another power play goal right after from Beeson net, but we answer right back from Kolarz. I don't know who took that penalty, but those 2 goals on the power play are not good ones to give up. But good to see Kolarz at least respond for us and that top line. And we are going to be going to overtime in Game 3 with a score 3-3 after 3 periods. A lot of threes involved. I don't know if this is one that we are going to win or not, because they had definitely a much better third period than us, but we did take a major penalty or something like that, and that's how they scored 2 of their goals. Who took that penalty out of curiosity? Oh, it was Dunham for charging. It was a major. So is Dunham ejected from the game because of that? Damn. Of course, it has to be one of our top players that took that bad penalty, and then they scored 2 goals because of that. If we end up losing this game, Dunham's probably to blame for it. But at the same time, we did give up 2 power play goals. So those penalty killers could also do a little bit better. But can we find a way to get that OT winner and win this game and take a series lead and win a game on the road too, which would be really, really nice. Let's see what happens in OT. Come on, boys. I don't care who it is on a roster, just somebody on the roster. Let's go. We do find the winner. I don't know who it is. It's going to be Hutton of all people. Okay. So we do get a goal from one of our top 4 defensemen. That's nice to see because he's not much of a goal scorer. But we do manage to weather the storm despite giving up 2 power play goals in that third period. We survive. We win 4-3, outshooting them 43-32. And we have taken our first lead of the series. And we've won a game on the road, which is great because now we can't fall down at least 3-1. So Stubwitz from Kolarz and Ristolainen, Delisle from Cashman and Dunham. And then we had Kolarz from Dunham. So I guess that major penalty that Dunham took, he actually was not ejected from the game because he didn't assist on the tying goal. And then we had Hutton with his first goal of the playoffs from Comrie and Tulipov. So a little bit of unlikely candidates on that OT winning goal, which is nice to see. 3 stars in that game, Kolarz, Hutton, and Alvin Lindsay. So pretty solid game. It's nice to see Kolarz at least score a big goal like that as well. Like I said, Kolarz has been a really solid player, and he's technically the best player on our team, despite Stubwitz and Ristolainen still simulating well. Kolarz is technically the best overall player, but he also should be starting to drop off relatively soon because of his age as well. But we're now 6-1 in the playoffs. Our only loss so far coming in Game 1. Now the question is, can we string together back-to-back road wins and take a 3-1 stranglehold of our own? Because if we find a way to win here, we have a chance to close out the series multiple times, and the next time we have a chance to close it out is on home ice. So it would be nice if we could find a way to win 3 straight here and push the Jets to the brink. So let's keep the team the same. We've had some really close games despite winning them. So I am a little bit scared that this still could go to 7 games, but let's see if we could find a way to take a 3-1 series lead on this Winnipeg Jets team. Come on, boys. Let's keep on building on stuff. Let's keep on building on stuff. First period, game number 4. 1-0 Jets. Not a terrible start, but we did get a shot 14-7. The goal that they scored was with 19 seconds left, so our team was not playing that great. Gionta was holding us in it, but he had to buckle late in the period, which is not great. That's definitely one of our rougher first periods. Obviously, we're only down by a goal, so it's not terrible, but being outshot 14-7 is not a great thing, especially when we're trying to take a 3-1 series lead here. So the question is, can we find a way to tie this game up in the second period and not give them that much more chances in the second period either, because they're already outplaying us quite a bit. Second period, 4-1 Jets. Ugh. Yikes. Yeah, we're getting completely outplayed. I'm not blaming Gionta on this one. Cantor, Danielson make it 3-0. Kopitz makes it 3-1. Leahy scores for them to make it 4-1. Shots are 30-19. So Gionta's getting completely peppered with shots. It makes sense that he's going to give up some goals, but we're just not playing good defensively right now, so this is not good. I definitely still think the series could go to 7 games based on this. Let's see what happens in the third period, see if we could claw back into this game at any stretch, but it looks like we're going to have a tie series headed back home again, which means it's going to be going to a minimum of game number 6 in the series. Dunham scores to make it 4-2. Good to see him on the board again, but it is probably a bit too late. Yeah, Lindsay makes it 5-2. Yeah, we're just being badly outplayed in this one. This is kind of back to like game 1 results, which is not great. So it is going to be a tie series headed back home, unfortunately, as we lose 5-2 for the second time in the second round. So we're definitely not playing as strong as we were in round number 1, but I did expect it to be a tougher time for us. So Kopitz from Ristolainen and Hunwick, and then we had Dunham from Delisle and Tulipov. 3 stars of the game, all Jets players, not really a surprise. All right, so the question is now, what do we do? What do we do? Gianta's had some bad games, and Cashman's been injured with an upper body injury. That's not good for that second line. That means he's going to be missing a little bit of time. Let me go replace player on that for the time being, but that's a pretty substantial blow. Oh, I almost assumed to the day after the last game. Oh, goddamn. Yeah, it's a pretty substantial blow. He will not be back the rest of the rounds, so we got to find a ways to win without Cashman, and he's been one of our better players, especially on that second line. So, Hansen gets thrown into the lineup. I'm not sure about having him there. I would prefer probably to put Comrie on that line, just because Comrie's also a playmaker. Yeah, we'll probably go something like that. Yeah, I think that's fine. Jurgen Hansen has never played an NHL game, right? No, he has not. I don't know, he played 4 NHL games. He had 2 assists, so he's actually decent at passing, but he's never played an NHL playoff game, but he's going to get a chance here on that third line. I mean, I could move Robertson up always, too. I think it's fine like that. From a defensive standpoint, I think I want to change some things with our pairings a bit, just because we haven't been the best defensively this round. So I think I'm going to go to Tulipov top pairing. Hunwick's going to go back down to the second pairing, just for something. And yeah, Gianta's down to a 9-12. Like, he has been okay at times, but this round he's definitely having a tough time. I don't know if he needs time off or not, because maybe I give Malkin a chance. But this round against the Jets, he's only posted above a 900 save percentage 2 times. Game 1 where we lost. Game 2 where we won, he had an 885. Game 3 where we won, he had a 906. And then we just lost this one, he had an 889. So he's definitely had a tough time by comparison to that first round. I could give him a break, hypothetically, but I'm not too sure if that's a good idea. We technically do have a 2-headed monster with overall ratings. Malkin has only played a little bit of a playoff game last year, or actually a full playoff game last year. Let's give Malkin a game. I know Gianta is technically a great goaltender, but we have 2-headed monster for a reason. Let's give Gianta a little bit of a break, and maybe that could help us win some more games too. So let's get to game number 5. Obviously, whoever wins the series will have a chance to win the series in the next round, or not in the next round, in the next game, I should say. So, can we find a way to respond after another bad game defensively? Hopefully, those adjustments help. Hopefully, not having Cashman in our lineup isn't huge for us. Like, hopefully, it still has the second line simulate really well, because Cashman was like the setup guy for Dunham. So, if that second line takes the time off, obviously, then that's going to be a bit problematic. But let's see what happens here, see who could take the series lead here. We're back on home ice, so hopefully we could use that to our advantage here and push the Jets to the brink again. First period, game number 5. 1-0 Jets. Not ideal, not a terrible start by any stretch. We are outshooting them 11-9, so we are getting chances, but so far their goaltender's been good. Malkin allows a goal in the first 10 shots of the game, which is not great, but I mean, he hasn't been terrible by any stretch too. So Lightning with that goal for them. Can we find a way to get a response in the second period here? Because we've been trailing after the first period quite a bit in this series so far up to this point. Can we find a way to tie this? Second period? Still down 1-0. Our offense is kind of drying up a little bit too here as of late, these last 2 games. Shots are now 25-18 in favor of us, but we're still down by a goal. So far Malkin's been doing a pretty decent job here, but our offense hasn't been able to find a way to score so far on Cavallo, who's been a pretty good playoff goaltender up to this point. Can we find a way to tie this game up into third? Or are we going to go to Winnipeg with a chance to be eliminated or a chance to force a game 7? Let's see what happens. Third period. Come on, boys. Let's tie this one up. Don't care who it is on the roster. Just got to tie it up. Even if it's just like the most random name ever, just find a way to tie it up. We're out shooting them for a reason. We can find ways to score goals. It's just Cavallo. Just Cavallo. Power play for us late in the game. We do not score there. Final few minutes. Come on, boys. Please give me a goal. No, we are not going to get it. Wongvig gets an empty netter, and we get shut out 2-0, despite outshooting him 36-26. So Cavallo stole that game for the Jets, and unfortunately, we are going to be going to Winnipeg down 3-2, which means we need to win on the road to force a game 7. Yikes. I do still feel like this series could go to a game 7, but I'm kind of skeptical here. But Malkin ends up getting second start in his first playoff game in a year, so good to see he did good. He could probably start next game, but I'm not too sure if I want to do that to Gianta or not. I feel like maybe I could. Maybe I could. You know what? I think I'll give Malkin back-to-back games. Gianta could start next round or game 7 if we get there, but might as well go with the goaltender that's been doing better against a certain team, and we might as well do some defensive adjustments and stuff like that to try and change things around a little bit. Obviously, having Comrie up there instead of Cashman might play a huge factor in this. Cashman technically could play this next game, but I do not want to risk it. So, do we want to make any other adjustments? Stelbitz dropped down to an 87 now. I feel like these guys are both going to retire the same season. Risto dropped down to an 83 after a game. I'm pretty sure he was just an 85 not too long ago. Oh boy. I think we might literally lose like 2 to 3 guys in the same year. And that would be quite the substantial blow to our team, obviously going into next season. But it would free up some cap space, which is good. But I still don't want to lose those guys at any point. Let's see. Let's go back to this. Get Stillman over to the left side instead. Kopitz could play down the middle. We'll move Kopitz up. Hansen could go down to the fourth line. Defensively, we will try Hutton on there. We'll do Tulipov and Hunwick together, I think. Yeah, we'll go with that. And then goaltending, yeah, we'll run with Boris Malkin for another game. All right, is this the last NHL game potentially for Ristolainen and Staubitz and Norena? Because this could be the case. It could be the case, which is kind of scary. So hopefully we force a game 7, because obviously that could have been the last home game those boys have ever played in. They might be playing on the road for the last time now in Winnipeg. So real-time simulation, looking to force a game 7 back on home ice. It's been a back-and-forth series for the most part. Can we find a way to force game 7? Let's see what happens. I'm expecting some Staubitz goals in this one just because it could be his last game. So can we find a way to force game 7? Come on, boys. They opened the scoring. Danielson, that's not great here early on. That's not great. Do we have a response to that goal, though? That's the big question. Because if we do not have the response, that's not good. Yes, we do have a response. It's Tulipov. Okay. So we did make some defensive adjustments, and it does give us a goal in this first period, and it's going to be 1-1 after 1 with the shots in the Jets' favor, 13-8. So this series has been kind of hard to predict. It's been really back and forth. Sometimes we're being outshot after first period. Sometimes we're outshooting them. And sometimes we're getting outscored by them. Sometimes we're outscoring them by a couple goals. So it's definitely been quite streaky. Can we find a way to get our first lead tonight in the second period? Let's see what happens. Period 2 underway. Come on, boys. Let's get that lead. Let's get that lead. Don't care who it is on our roster, just somebody on our roster. Yeah, let's go. Malak of all people. He hasn't scored in a while, I feel like, so that's a big goal from a guy that doesn't score too often. He makes it a 2-1 game. That's nice. And they answer back, though. It's Christensen to make it a 2-2 game. That's not good. Power play for us. We do not score on it. And we're going to be tied going into the third period, so this might be another one of those games that potentially go to overtime. Shots are 24-19 in favor of the Jets. It's a 2-2 game. This could be the last period of our big guy's career. It could also be a potential for third period where we force a game 7. So let's see what happens. Third period underway. Come on, guys. Let's get that lead back. Let's get that lead back. Power play for us. And we do get a goal from Staubitz. That's the guy I wanted to see score. I thought Staubitz was going to score this game, and he does score a big one there. So that's a huge goal from the captain to give us the lead 3-2. Can we hold them off? Staubitz scores again, 4-2. I knew Staubitz was going to score some goals in this game. I knew it. I just had a hunch. And we are going to force a game 7 back on home ice, where that could be still the last game of some of our guys' careers, but it also could be one where we get a chance to go back to the conference finals again. So huge win there on the shoulders of Staubitz. So Tulipov from Kopitz, Malak from Doigan Arena, Staubitz from Ristolainen, and Staubitz from Kolars and Bells. So a lot of the old guys did some good work in that game, which is great to see. And yeah, Staubitz, without him, I don't know if this team would have had a chance. But yeah, Norena picked up a point in that game. Kolars picked up a point. Risto picked up a point. Even Bell's a bit of an older guy. So a lot of the veterans did good work. And Boris Malkin's actually been really good so far in his first 2 games of the playoffs. So that reaches the question on who starts game 7. Staubitz gets first star, Malkin second star, Danielson for them the third star. So I feel like we might honestly have to go with Malkin for game 7, and then we could start Gianta in the conference finals if we do get there. I just feel like that might be the best play, as Cashman's apparently fully healed for game 7, so I thought he was going to be back after this round, but that is huge. That will definitely give us a bit of a better chance to win these games because we obviously have a bit of better forward depth because of that. So that's huge. That's huge. Hopefully that makes that second line can start contributing again. But yeah, I think we are probably going to go with Boris Malkin for Game 7. He's been the better goaltender in this round. Might as well give him a chance again. And like I said, easily next round I could go back to Giunta if we do get there. And just Malkin's kind of just helping us get through a tougher series pretty much. He's got a 948 through 2 games, so let's put him in net again, and Giunta will have his 3rd straight night off. Hopefully that gets him fully rested for a chance to play in the conference finals if we do end up beating this Jets team. So I think that's all the adjustments we're going to make. Obviously Cashman being back in and Malkin starting. Can we win in Game 7? It's been so back and forth so far that I don't know what to expect in Game 7. Because they had a 1-0 series lead, then it was 1-1, then it was 2-1 us, then it was 2-2, then it was 3-2 them. Now it's 3-3, and now we go to Game 7. So it's been literally each team has won 2 games in a row at this series. So maybe we're going to win 2 games in a row again and go to that conference finals. But 3 of the 4 series that are still left are actually going to Game 7, which is kind of insane. So one of the underdogs are going to find a way to win, and hopefully it's us. I don't know if we're technically the underdog, actually, in that sense. The Jets are the underdog, but I still consider us a bit of an underdog because we're also an old team that's falling apart a little bit. But let's see what happens. Real-time simulation. Is this the last NHL game for a bunch of guys' careers, or are we going to a chance in the conference finals? Are actually going to the conference finals regardless, but are we going to go there? We just need to get off to a better start. That's what I'm hoping for, and hopefully Malkin plays like he's been doing in his first 2 playoff games of the year. So here we go. Game 7's underway. Looking to find a way to score that first goal of a big important game here. Maybe Stelwitz has more goals in him from last game because he was fantastic that last game. Long penalty kill, and we killed it off, so that's a good penalty kill, but obviously that does give them a lot of shots on goal. And we score first, and it's Stillman of all people. That was not who I was expecting to score. Stillman with his first career playoff goal. Maybe he's Mr. Game 7 or on this team or something like that, but that's a huge late goal in that first period from Stillman. It gives us a 1-0 lead, but we were getting outplayed kind of in that first period, so to get that lead after the first period is nice to see. And like I said, Stillman is not really the offensive guy, so for him to score a goal here is really, really good. Can we hold on to this lead and get some insurance in the second period to make it a bit easier for us? Let's see what happens second period. Come on, boys. Penalty kill to start the second period. We killed it off again. So our penalty killers are doing some good legwork here in this game. Power play for us. We do not score on it. Come on, boys. Hey, Hutton scores. He had the game-winning goal a few games ago. He makes it 2-0. That's a pretty big goal at this point, as there's only a few minutes left in the second period, and we are going to take a 2-0 lead going into the third period. Shots are pretty even, 22-21. We've killed off some big penalties as well. Our team's digging in here, which is huge. We're only up by a pair of goals, though, so we need to find a way to maybe get a third goal or play strong defensively and in net. Is Malkin going to find a way to force us to get to a conference finals? He's been definitely the better of the 2 goalies as of late, but I would probably put Giunta in the conference finals if we have a chance to. So, third period underway. Can we hold on to this lead and get ourselves to the next round? Let's see. If we get one more goal, that would be huge. Beck pulls the Jets within 1. That's not great, and they tie it up. I'm going to jump in already. That's not good. The Jets have scored 2 goals to start this third period after we were up 2-0. So Malkin maybe just blew it. But we might as well jump in here considering this is potentially the last game of a lot of guys' careers. And apparently my batteries are already low, which is kind of funny because I was literally just doing roster editing yesterday for a long time. So I got to change my batteries. So let me just quickly do that. Alright, so batteries have been changed. I just wanted to make sure that they wouldn't have died in the middle of watching the AIs. So this is not a great third period to start off with. So I really hope our team is going to be able to find a way to hold on to this win here. Or not hold on to this win now, get that lead. Because, like I said, that third goal would have been huge. But instead we gave up 2 goals early in this third period. So let's see if we could hold on to it. It's a huge game because also of the chance of a lot of guys retiring. And I'm a little bit worried about that. So let's see if we can find a way to get a goal back here. We've jumped into some games before and seen a lot of goals, so maybe we'll see that again here. I don't like the way we started this third period, but maybe we could find a way to score goals. And oh no. I just realized I had it still not selected as selected as me playing the game, which I'm obviously not going to do that. Okay, there we go. But now we just lost the face-off because of that. That's kind of annoying. Okay, here we go. Third period underway. It's a 2-2 game. We're on home ice. Can we get it to the conference finals? We got our top guys out there right now, which is great to see. So hopefully they can willpower us somehow. Nice little defensive play on the line. Here comes Ragnarsson for the Jets. Turned away by Malkin. I kind of like Malkin's gear. It's kind of simple. Probably should have changed his mask, though. It's our first time seeing Malkin in net because usually we run Giunta, but Gianta's been kind of the worst of the two goaltenders, so might as well give him a couple nights off. And hopefully, like I said, if we get to the conference finals, he'll be back in net. Risto on the draw. Here is Staubitz up to Bell. Bell with it. Bell's going to dump it. Risto will chase it down. A lot of these old guys are probably not super fast anymore because their skating skills are probably dropping off a cliff a little bit. Staubitz throws it over. Here is Bell again. Bell gets hit. Here's Hutton. Ragnarsson lost it. Here is Ristolainen. Oh my goodness. My voice is just trying to die me. Here's Bell. Over to Risto, and a great chance, and Cavallo turns him away. Damn. That would have been nice if Risto could have scored a big goal here in this third period. But yeah, Hutton has been a pretty decent player in the series so far. He's got 2 goals. So who knows, maybe he has another one in this game. We have our second line back out there. Cashman in his first game back since missing the last 2 games due to injury, I think it was. Here he is. Can he win the draw? Yes, he can. Bell threatens Hutton, and Hutton in a bomb deflected scores. It is Dunham with the big tipper X Factor, and we have taken back the lead. Huge goal from Eugene Dunham as our second line continues to be that line. What a bomb by Hutton, and what a deflection in front. And we have taken back that lead. Let's go. That's a huge goal here late in this third period. That's why you jump in. You never know what could happen. But Dunham's been our best player for sure in this playoff run. He's been a bit quiet at times, but we do get ourselves that lead back here in Game 7, which is really huge at this stage. The question is now, can we hold on to this lead? Because obviously we blew the 2-0 lead before. Hopefully this doesn't open the floodgates for both teams, basically. Like, hopefully we find a way just to slow this game down a bit and hold on to this lead pretty much. Dunham with it again. Bell with it now. Over to Hutton. Hutton throws it over. Here is Delisle. Throws it to Bell. Bell finds Hutton again. And now we're just running around in our own zone, which I don't know why. But now we're out of the zone. Here is Hutton. He has an assist in this game. He's been good in the series. He shoots it, and it's turned away by Cavallo. Damn, Hutton has a pretty good bomb of a shot. Because obviously he shot the one that Dunham deflected, and then that shot was pretty nice. And apparently Delisle got destroyed on a hit. I don't even know who just destroyed him there, but somebody did. All that Putin went to his legs or something like that. Alright, Cashman in that second line still out there, which is okay with me. Still 10 minutes left in this period, up by a goal. Here is Beck for the Jets, finds Lightning. This line's been good for them. Lightning can't get it in. Beck gets a chance. Dunham recovers it, and he will rag it a little bit. Nicely done, guys. Good little exit out of our zone. Hutton throws it to Delisle, and he gets stood up again. Delisle's a little bit of a smaller guy, though, so it does make sense that he gets knocked off the puck so easily. Here is Ragnarsson for the Jets with a bit of speed, and Ristolainen with a great defensive play. That's why he's won all those Selkies in his career. Huge defensive play. Hutton will jump it in. And it's now with Packer Ryan over to Ragnarsson. Bissonnette throws it to Danielson. Damn, they have a lot of speed, the stop line. Danielson walking in, and that's turned away by Malkin. Big save there from Boris. A little bit of a scrum in the corner. We do have our top line back out there again, which is nice to see, because obviously this is maybe one of their last shifts. You never know. Bell with the puck over to Ristolainen. Ristolainen with a little bit of speed, even though he's getting pretty old at the stage. Still with the puck, holds onto it. And it's a scrum in the corner. Staubitz trying to dig it out, and it doesn't get digging out. Sutton with it now. Sutton will dump it in. We're down into the final 5 minutes of this third period, still up by that one goal that we saw from Dunham. Can we hold on? Here's Comrie, so we got the third line out there. Comrie with the puck, finds it to Doig. Doig walks in, that's turned away by Cavallo. Great A chance there. Malacca chance, that's turned away. Almost full pressure for us, but we aren't going to get it. Sutton finds Leahy. Len Leahy over to Cantor, and he scores. God damn it. And apparently, I had it on coach mode. Apparently, it said we could call adjustments. I didn't even realize that, but that's not good. That's not good. That's a bad goal to give up. This third line was playing pretty good. Almost had a chance to make it 4-2. But that shot's one that I think Malkin should probably have. But Cantor ties this game up here in Game 7. There's a chance we might go to overtime in Game 7. So this might be a little bit of a longer episode if we do go to overtime, but that's not good. I was hoping that we'd hold on to this lead. Hopefully our boys are okay. Let's take a little time out here and resettle things a bit. Hopefully we can play a bit better defensively, because every time we have the lead, we blow it so far in this Game 7. All right, shots 30-29. It's a 3-3 game. It's been pretty damn dead even, this one. And there's not a lot of time left. Only 3 minutes left in this one. Here is Dunham again. He's got a goal in this third period, and he gets blown up. Cashman will skate after the puck. Doesn't do anything after that. Here is Wanvrig for the Jets. Beck gets stood up. Tulipov finds Cashman. Cashman and Delisle, and that's turned away by Cavallo. He almost got Cavallo looking the opposite way. So smart shot there from Delisle. Nearly took us back that lead again. But, yeah, this second line's been definitely probably the most effective line we've seen in this game so far, I feel like, because they scored that goal and they've had some good chances. There's the Jets point leaders. Apparently they're led by Curtis Beck at the moment. Cashman had to draw against Lightning. And Lightning won it. Damn it. Bissonnette with the puck for the Jets. Banks it off the boards. Here is Wanvig. He finds Beck. Back to Lightning. Lightning to Wanvig. That's turned away by Malkin. Wanvig again. Still with the puck somehow. Bissonnette tries to throw it down the middle. Doesn't work. Somebody was poke checked and a huge save by Malkin. Oh no. Oh no, they almost have full pressure. Good play by Malkin to kind of slow things down a bit, but we're into the final minute and they nearly have full pressure, so we got to win this face-off, and it's Cashman still out there. He's up against Lindsay at the draw, so they almost have their top line out there, which is not good. Or they do have their top line out there. Lindsay wins it. Here's Pakarainen. Bissonnette. Lindsay shoots it. That just goes wide. God damn. Tulipov will not get it out. Oh my goodness. Get it out of the zone. Pakarainen. Danielson walks in. That's turned away again by Malkin. We're running around in our own zone here in Game 7. Third period. That's not good. Bissonnette a bomb. His stick breaks. Lindsay can't get the shot. Hunwick with it now. Throws it over to open wing. Tulipov is gassed, but he finds Dunham, and we do barely escape that full pressure. God damn. I thought we were going to buckle there. Here's Danielson again for the Jets. He stood up, but no hit there. Lindsay now with it. Lindsay with it. Nice play by Hutton. Ristolainen finds Dunham. Eugene Dunham will jump it in. 14 seconds to go. Final few seconds. Lindsay with the puck again. Here is Danielson. He got by. Danielson lost it. Here's Dunham to Hutton. And we are going to be going to overtime in Game 7. Just barely escaping that full pressure. But now that means who knows how long this game is going to go. The next goal goes to the conference finals. It's been a back and forth kind of game as well. Just like the series has been, actually, for that matter. So we're being outshot 32-31 now. Let's see what happens in overtime. Is this the last run for the guys, or are we going to go to the conference finals? I really hope Ristolainen or Staubitz can get an OT winner here, because that'd be awesome, but really don't care who it is on our roster that scores it. Risto wins the faceoff. Here is Drew Bell. He turns it over immediately to start off overtime, but at least we do pressure them back into their zone a little bit. Alvin Lindsay throws it across. Nice play by Kolarz, but then he lost it, and Malkin is forced to make a big save to start off overtime. Kolarz made a good interception, but then I guess it got poked off his stick and then right over to another guy. All right. Defensive zone face-off. At least we have the face-off wizard out there in Ristolainen. I don't think his face-offs have dropped off at all, which is nice. And he wins that draw. Bell to Staubitz, over to Kolarz. The old man out there. Kolarz finds Staubitz. Josiah Staubitz, the captain. Throws it over Ristolainen. A great chance, and that just missed. Here we are again, turned over by Bell. It's with Danielson. Danielson tries to make a move, can't get by. Malkin will take it and freeze it. Damn, if he was not forced to freeze it, he could have probably thrown that out as a pass, but he freezes it. And now we got another defensive zone face-off. At least we have Risto out there, but still, Risto's not going to win every single face-off. Risto at the face-off dot. He loses that one, of course. After I said that, Bissonnette has chance, and that's turned away again by Malkin. Bell gets stood up by Danielson. Here's Ragnarsson walking in, and another big save by Malkin. They nearly have full pressure, which is not a great thing to see in an overtime situation, especially in a Game 7. Oh boy. Risto, I need you to win this draw, man. I know you're old, but let's just win this face-off. This could be your last shift of your career, potentially. Risto gets it. He finds it to Kolarz. We do get out of the zone. Here comes Kolarz. Kohler still holding on to the puck, still with it. Walks to the inside, a backhand chance, and Cavallo's forced to make a big save. Damn, that was some good puck protection from Kohler's. Great backhand chance as well. And now we have an offensive zone face-off. So now we have the second line out there, Cashman, Delisle, and Dunham, looking to find a way to win this. They've been great so far. Let's see if they could continue that. Cashman can't win the draw. And now here comes the Jets. Packer Reinen with it. Get away, guys. Poke check. Oh, yikes. That rebound was kind of scary. And Danielson's been physical around the boards. There's a battle. Bissonnette finds it. The Packer Reinen, a bomb. Great block. Another great block by our team. And we got cross-checked down, but no penalty call. I thought there was a cross-check there, but no, nothing called. Cashman over to Delisle. Delisle to Cashman. Cashman walks in. Cashman throws it back. Here's Huntwick a chance, and that's turned away by Cavallo. Some grade A chances for both teams, but both goalies playing good. We blocked some big shots, so hopefully that gives us a big chance to win this game. But another offensive zone face-off. Still have the second line out there as well. Come on, Cashman, you got this, buddy. He wins the draw. Here's Narain over to Petterman. A chance deflected, I think, and it's turned away. And a pass out front. Cavallo's forced to make another save. And we do have full pressure. Sorry, I had to make a cut because my voice was dying on me completely. Comrie at the draw in the offensive zone. Can't win it. And they are going to escape the pressure. No, they're not. Comrie finds Doig. Doig a chance. Cavallo makes the save. We still have 21 seconds of full pressure. Can we find a way to get that winner on this pressure system? Come on, guys. The third line of all lines being out there is a little bit weird, but maybe they could find a way to get it done. Comrie on the face-off. Can't win that one. That gets knocked down. Here's Sutton. He's held up, but they do get out of the zone. That's not good. Blacker with it for the Jets. Blacker walks in. Can't get the shot through. Lightning with it. Gets stood up. Great hit there by Petterman, I think that was. Comrie finds Petterman. Petterman. The young defenseman will just dump it in. Smart play. Smart play. Sutton with it for the Jets. Throws it all the way up. Here is Cantor, who tied the game up. He finds Len Leahy. Leahy with the puck. He shoots. Turned away by Malkin with the glove. They almost have full pressure again, too. This pressure system is going bonkers in OT. Oh my God. I hope that we don't get trapped in our own zone again. But that's a great hit by Petterman. Nice to see the kid doing some stuff. And we have our top line out there for the defensive zone face-off again. So hopefully that could help us a bit here. Ristolainen at the draw. And he wins it cleanly. Nicely done, Risto. Norena finds Kolars. Kolars carries it in, makes a move. Kolars still with it. Kolars shoots. Turned away by Cavallo. And we do have a power play coming to our team as Wheeler heads to the box for interference. I didn't even see the penalty. Oh, it was right off the face-off. It was another one of those weird plays that we've seen recently, as Wheeler just knocked down Risto. And we have a power play chance to get to the conference finals. This is a big power play opportunity. We do have a good power play unit. We had the best power play during the regular season. Can it find a way to get the winner here and get ourselves to that next round? Risto at the face-off dot. And he wins it cleanly. Kopitz finds Kolars. Kolars up front. A great chance for Staubitz, and that's turned away. Nice passing. Very nice passing. Kind of weird that Kopitz is on the point on this power play unit, but I don't really care too much. All right, another face-off with our top line out there. Delisle's now at the points, so maybe that's how he could score some more goals. There's a face-off win by Risto. Delisle shoots. Cavallo makes another big save. Cavallo dropped the puck to keep it in their zone. Staubitz with great pressure on Bissonnette. Still pressuring. We turn it over. Risto to Kolars. Back to Risto, and that's turned away by Cavallo. What a good forecheck from the captain. You know, he's 37 years old, but he still plays like he's like 28. I don't want to say younger than that because he was not great earlier into his career, but we do have the second unit out there now. Comrie, Dunham, Doig, Kopitz, and Norena. Kopitz a bomb. That scores! Maximilian Kopitz, the young rookie. And the Albuquerque Aliens survive and will last another series just barely, which means Staubitz and all their guys' careers are going to last a little bit longer on an OT bomb as we eliminate the Jets in 7 games. This was a tough series, but we barely escaped. A lot of back and forth. A huge bomb on the power play is the one that ends the series, and we continue on to the conference finals. Maximilian Kopitz, of all people. Let's friggin' go. What a bomb that was. What an absolute bomb that was. And to be on home ice, too, that's pretty sick to see. Wow. All right. Well, we got to definitely take a look at that OT winner again. But it all started with the good forecheck of that first-line power play to keep it in the zone. And then we end up getting a winner here. As the face-off won by Comrie. He finds it over to Narena. Narena throws it over to Kopitz. Kopitz sees the net front presence with the full pressure. Just bombs this to the net. And that net front presence maybe helps things out a bit. Caval only gets a piece of it. And that is the OT winner. And the one that wins us this series. Oh my goodness. This is a pick that definitely goes hard. And Kopitz literally looks like such an old guy. But he's literally like 25, I think. That's hilarious. Just get a screenshot of that, because that's maybe one of those screenshots that we'll remember for a long time. So, huge win on home ice. Let's see the 3 stars of the game. So, Dunham, the 3rd star with a goal, which we saw that goal in the 3rd period. So, we win 4-3 in Game 7 and win the series in 4-3 as well. So, pretty even in terms of that. Kopitz, the 2nd star, a goal and assist. He gets the 2nd star, which means 1st star. I don't know who 1st star is going to be. Unless somebody had multiple assists or something like that. I don't know who it could be. It will be Ricard Hutton and 3 points for the defenseman in Game 7. Hutton's fantastic, man. Absolutely fantastic. Let's go. And then another good game from Boris Malkin. So, I think we got to obviously go to Gionta for the conference finals. But Malkin definitely could come back into playoffs at any time. I just want to give Gionta a little bit of a break. And maybe he'll be better in the conference finals. He's good in the 1st round. We run a different goalie the 2nd round. But we are going to be going to the conference finals. So let's take a look at our player stats after 2 rounds. And then we'll see who we're going up against in the conference finals. Which looks like it's going to be the Seattle Kraken. So that's going to be interesting. But let's take a look at some stats here. See who's been leading us and all that. So let's just go by forwards and then defenders and all that. But right now, the forwards side of things, it's been the Dunham show for the most part. 16 points in 11 games. Risto and Kolars are over point per game. Stowitz and Cashman are point per game. Cashman's actually over point per game, but he missed a couple of games. But everybody else other than Delisle and stuff like that have been kind of quiet. Kopitz actually on 6 points is pretty good for his ice time, but he is a power play guy. Ooh, -9 from Comrie now. God damn, I didn't realize Comrie got torn apart completely in that round, because I don't think he was that bad last round. Let's go to game logs here. Yeah, he had a tough time against the Jets. He had an absolute tough time. -2, -4, -6, -7. -7 versus the Jets. Yikes. Well, he's a complete outlier on this team in terms of plus-minus. So maybe we need to make an adjustment there. Not too sure. Not too sure. From a defensive standpoint, Narena's on 5 points, Hutton on 4, Hunwick, Tulipov, and Bell all on 4/3 points. Petterman has nothing. And then goaltending so far, Gionta on a 9.12, Malkin on a 9.36. So we could literally go to either of these goalies. I definitely will go to Gionta to start, I think, next round, but Malkin will probably have a chance to play at least one game. Like, we could literally alternate between the two of them the rest of the way almost. All right, the question is now, what are the Seattle Kraken going to be looking like? Because that's who we're going to be taking on. A winner will face either the Flyers or the Capitals for the Stanley Cup. So, just in case you wanted to know about that, let's take a look at how they simulated during the regular season compared to us and how they're simulating playoff-wise. But Seattle, we have played them in the playoffs before, I'm pretty sure. But if we go to Western Conference here, they were the 3rd best team in the Western Conference, so they were a pretty good team during the regular season. Obviously, they weren't as good as us and everything because we were first and everything, but 3.35 goals for per game, pretty solid. 2.88 goals against, so good defensively. Power play percentage, not great, 15.5. And penalty kill, 87.4. So the only thing that didn't work well for them during the regular season was their power play, I guess. Aside from that, in the playoffs, let's see what we got here. Western Conference. So they've played 13 games at this point. We played 11. We're scoring right around the exact same amount of goals per game and allowing right around the same amount of goals against per game. Their power play has been a little bit better than ours this time around, though. And our penalty kill has been better than theirs. All right. Interesting. They do have 3 shorthanded goals, though, in this playoff run at this point in time, which is a bit scary. All right, let's take a look at their lineup, and then we'll also take a look at their player stats and maybe also see how we played against them during the regular season. But Let's see what we got for the Kraken. What do their lineup look like at this point in time? Is there any former players that are Kraken players? I don't think so, unless some of them signed there recently. First line, Nicholas Bjorkstrand. Goddamn, 97 overall for this franchise guy at this point. So basically, we got to play against this generation's Connor McDavid in a sense. This guy's insane. And he's had multiple 100-point seasons in a row. Yeah, this guy's crazy. And then his playoff numbers are always crazy too. Okay, that's going to be definitely tough to contain. They also do still have Cameron Dixon. They have Pat Lashoff. I feel like he's new. Second line has Hanyo Mietin, Ola Svedberg, and Manny Doan. Third line, Luke Boland, Dalton Winchester, and I almost said Augustin for no reason. Austin Siglet. Okay. And then a fourth line of Corey Generous, Jackson Paxbu, and Declan Ortiz. So they do have pretty good depth. Obviously, the second line center is not super strong, but they don't have like any 70 overall guys in that four group other than Generous. From a defensive standpoint, Clifford Isbister is an 89, playing with a 79 overall defenseman in Oberg. They also have Raimo Emanen, Javon Martinez, Chance Alos, and Henyu Vaninen. So this defensive core has a really good defender, and then everybody else is pretty mid. Like, all these guys are like top 6/depth defensemen. So Isbister is the one that contain on the defensive side of things, but he is a DFD, so he's not going to bring too much offense, but he's going to be good shutdown defense. And then from a goaltending perspective, they have Milan Havlat and Xavier Cope. So they have two goalies they could go to just like us, which is interesting. Scratch, they have Ian Wall, Jerome Desharnais, and Pascal Lambert. So there's one former player, but he's a healthy scratch. Pascal Lambert. 62 games during a regular season with 27 points. Not bad. Not bad at all. He has not played in the playoffs yet with them, so he's just a healthy scratch after 20 games. I guess they made a trade, and then he became a healthy scratch for them, it looks like. But yeah, that's going to be a tough round for sure as well. Not as tough maybe as Winnipeg, but Bjorkstrand and Dixon, those guys are going to be tough to contain. And then from a defensive standpoint, I mean, Isbister is going to be a rock back there. So it's probably going to be a tough matchup, I think, in that type of thing. So let's take a look at our stats, actually. See who's been doing what for the Kraken this playoff run so far. And I'll see what we did against them during the regular season. And then I'll be it for this episode, just because we're approaching an hour and my voice is completely dying on me. And looks like Seattle is a two-man show right now at the moment. Bjorkstrand's on 21 points. Lashoff's on 20 points. Afterwards, pretty big drop-off to Dixon with 13 points. After that, it's a huge drop-off to Svedberg with 8. So they do have some good depth scoring, but it's definitely two guys that are doing a lot of work for that Seattle Kraken team. And then from a defensive standpoint, Oberg has 7 points. Isbister's on 6. They have some okay depth scoring there. And then goaltending, a 918 from Havlat so far. So they are getting good goaltending as well in this playoff run. But Lashoff is, what overall? The 83 overall. Yet he's got 20 points in 13 playoff games. So this guy is really good for his overall. Was over a point per game last year in playoffs too. 58 points this regular season. Last year had 94. So this guy is an interesting player, to say the least. He's a low bottom 6'4", but he's an 83 in the second liner. I honestly don't understand that, but yeah, that guy could be just getting good passes and stuff like that from Bjorkstrand or something like that. All right, final thing, let's see what we did against them during the regular season. Did we have a winning record against them, or were we losing most of the games? Obviously, it's not going to really matter too much because it's the playoffs now, but in terms of regular season, we did beat them in their first matchup 3-2. That was early into the season. So both teams' rosters are probably different by then. We did also beat them 2-1 in overtime on November the 23rd, so also early in the season. And we probably had at least one more meeting against them, I would assume, right? I would assume there's one more meeting that I'm not seeing here yet. Let's see. Maybe it was only 2 games. No, there's another one. 5-1 victory. So late in the season, we had a convincing win against them, but we did beat them in every single meeting during the regular season. So maybe that's good for us, maybe it's not, but it looks like we played pretty good defensively against them. But they did win 50 games during the season, so they are pretty much a good team. So Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Albuquerque Aliens Draft Glory franchise mode. So next episode, we will take it to the conference finals against the Seattle Kraken as we look to get ourselves to that Stanley Cup finals in what could be the last year for a lot of guys on our NHL team's careers. So I think that below, and I'll see you guys next time.